What was the show that you were in?
I was in a play called One Man, Two Guvnors.
That
Yeah.
was the play where you brought Donald Trump up
That's
on stage, right?
Yeah.
You used to bring people up from the audience.
Every night we would bring people up on stage and I would get them to move something for me on stage. It was like a big trunk.
So the night that you brought it to New York.
So we heard that Trump was in. And almost every night in that play, there was someone incredible in the audience. But you can't bring them up on stage. It's disrespectful. You can't bring up Gene Wilder, you, Tom Hanks. You can't. You absolutely. It's just a no-no.
Well, I know I'd be terribly embarrassed.
Yeah, exactly. And I'd be embarrassed to do that to such a person. However, and I said to Ollie, I was like, Donald Trump is the only person we can bring on stage. I said, because half the audience don't really like him anyway.
Right.
So we either win with everybody or we win with half the audience.
And this is before he ran for president.
Way before,
yeah, right.
way before. This is in 2012.
Okay.
So I said, if it's not going great, I'm going to bring him up. And we were like, that's okay, that'll be fun.
Because that'll make an amazing night. Yeah.
And then it was one of those days of biblical rain for an hour in New York in the summer. The heavens just opened, which always makes for a bad show.
Because people are soaking wet.
Down, their knees are wet. They're like, I don't want to be here. I just want to be snuggled up at home. Anyway, it's not a great audience. And this is now show 425, and I think, fuck it. I went, and he was about halfway back on the aisle.
Is he with Melania?
Yeah.
Oh.
And I grabbed his arm.
Yeah.
And I said, you're coming with me.
He didn't resist,
laughed.
did he?
No, he laughed.
Yeah.
And he came up, and the audience goes wild. And I started saying, I need you to move this. This is a thing called manual labor. You'll have never done this before.
It's something new.
Yeah. And I moved him around, and I fired him, and all things like this, and it was fun. But here's the thing I remember most about it. When the people would go off, I'd get them to move this trunk and take it into the wings out of this door. And then our stage manager would stand with the people, and they'd often be a bit shell-shocked that they were just on stage. And he'd say, look, you did great. It was fantastic. Wait here. James is going to call you back. You'll walk across the stage and back to your seats. You did great.
Right.
And I said to our stage manager, I said, what was he like in the wings? And I shit you not. I promise you this was the response. He went, it was like he thought he was the president of the United States. He went round shaking everybody's hand in the wings, but not in a genuine way, this is a big deal for you.
Yeah.
This is a big deal for you. You're getting to shake my hand.
Yeah.
But
no one had ever done that.
No. And you can't argue with the charisma of the man because, to his credit, he goes up and people are laughing. By the end, huge cheer, because what a great sport, you know?
So in a sense, he won over the audience that night at the show.
Yeah, I think he did. And also I think the audience felt like, oh, what a treat, you know, that they saw something that they knew was real, that wasn't, you know what I mean? And also he wasn't running to be the president of the United States. He was the host of The Apprentice.